It's me, Zenobia Darling. You're listening to #RockstarLife, the Coffee Break Podcast. Let's go. Where the hell's my cold brew at? What's up, guys? It's me, Zenobia Darling. I am coming at you on a very beautiful December evening. So I celebrate Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody, but I do understand that this is a time where many religions have holidays and festivities and celebrations. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all those who celebrate. And for this special espresso shot, I decided that I wanted to do something that really goes back into the Bravo vault and into the pop culture lexicon and does something that celebrates Christmas in my favorite way ever, which is just total, utter chaos. That is Real Housewives of New York City. So I figured I would give you guys a solo espresso shot for Christmas where I recap December Berkshire County. It is, I believe it's season 8 or 9 of Real Housewives of New York City. It originally aired June 1st, 2016. And it's the one basically where they went to the Berkshires for Dorinda. I mean, they went to Dorinda's house in the Berkshires for a holiday party, and it just, I mean, this episode, it's actually like kind of a 3-episode arc. It starts halfway through the previous episode, and then this episode is just the evening. I mean, it's time-stamped, and you know on Bravo, on The Real Housewives, when stuff is time-stamped, it's going to be a good episode. Because, I mean, it starts at, it's first time-stamped the episode's at 3:40, and then it doesn't end until about the first quarter of the next episode at like, I think it's like 8:35 or something. It's just, it's insane. It's crazy. It's the one where Dorinda gives her Make It Nice monologue. It's Luann's on a high horse and she's tromping around the Berkshires on that high horse, trampling everybody. And Bethany is like, I don't know what's going on with Bethany. I don't know if she allegedly did some coke. I don't know if she's on a different type of like medicine for her ADD or something, but she was in rare form. And surprisingly, Ramona kind of sat this one out and was like, kind of was like a beta character this season. I mean, this episode, which is surprising. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to dig into all about December Berkshire County for this beautiful espresso shot episode. So to give you guys some background, I watched the episode before this episode and the episode after it, because you really have to watch those 3 episodes in a row to really get the full build-up, climax, payoff, and just really take in the chaos. Because, I mean, this season is probably one of the best seasons of Real Housewives of New York City. I mean, Real Housewives of New York City has always been top-notch, but those seasons when Bethany came back up until season 11, that's some of the best ever episodes and seasons of Real Housewives of New York City. You have Ramona just being Ramona. You have Dorinda. You have Bethany. You have Luann. You have Carol. And then you have some like other people, like Tinsley comes in towards the end. I love Tinsley. You had some one season wonder girl, Jules. I forget her name. I just call her one season wonder when I was taking notes because she really wasn't that memorable. I mean, you kind of had Heather Thompson in there, but, you know, holla Heather. But she was really only in that one episode, and then Bethany got her ass fired real quick. So you really had, like, a core group that was really good and that was delivering. And, I mean, it was running on all 8 cylinders of that show. And this episode, I mean, this is iconic. I mean, it is so iconic. It's high stakes. It's high drama. It's high insults. There's a drug subtext. There's narcissism, there's selfishness, there's delusions, there's slut shaming, there's a meltdown by Dorinda that, like, I mean, I wrote it down because I'll give you guys a monologue. That'll be your special Christmas present. But I mean, it's crazy. I just watched all 3 episodes. So give you some backstory. The episode before this 3-episode arc is the episode with Ray, where Dorinda and John Medesi and her boyfriend at the time, they have a party, and some guy who fucked Luann, and it was kind of being like a stalker-ish, showed up, and he's in a scarf. and John goes to throw him out, and he was talking to Ramona, so John throws him and Ramona out. So you hear that, "You're trash! You're trash! How dare you!" Like that, like Queenie dude in the scarf. And then Ramona's like, "I never want to be in your presence ever again." Like to John, I need to work on my Ramona. Like she's like a fine wine. Oh, I just get better with time. Okay, let me see if I can do it. "I don't ever want to be in your presence ever again." So she's like all like that to John Medesian, and it's that whole epic fight. I mean, this is that season. So I mean, you don't want to miss an episode because shit's happening, and I mean, it's moving. I mean, it's like a freight train going full steam down the track. And it's speeding, and if you blink, you're going to miss a few major cars happening. I mean, it's that crazy. And the episode before that episode was the episode where Sonia and Bethany had to sit down because Sonia, this is like peak Sonia alcoholic delusion. Like, I'm not saying she's an alcoholic. I take that very seriously, but I will say she was drinking very unhealthily, very toxically. She was fucking a lot of men, being real wasted, being real, just not making the best life choices for herself. There's the PC way of saying it. And she did something where she got into a shady business deal with something called Tipsy Girl, and Bethany flipped out because you know how Bethany is. If you go after Skinny Girl, you know, she's coming for blood. And so she did the Tipsy Girl. So Bethany found out about it and just sat her down and just ripped her a new asshole. I mean, just absolutely filleted poor Sonia. And Sonia's just Sonia's crying, and she's like, "It's a cheater brand. It's a cheater brand." And it's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Skinny Girl is a cheater brand there was a book series, oh God, this is going way back, called Skinny Bitch. And it was a book series that basically promoted eating disorders. Because I read it, and I mean, I've been very open about this. I'm 12 years in recovery from eating disorder, and I have to say the book Skinny Bitch really helped me figure out how to be good at having an eating disorder. So, Bethany, you're really not just, I consider Skinny Girl a cheater brand from like the Skinny Bitch franchise of that book series. So, and the whole thing about Skinny Girl, why you gotta be skinny? That's bullshit. Accept your body. Some people are skinny, some people are bigger. Whatever's healthy for your body, you should be. So the whole thing is just like ridiculous. But Bethany basically filleted Sonia in that previous episode. And this was also the season where Luann moved into Sonia's townhouse, and they basically became drinking buddies. They would go out to bars, get drunk, and fuck men back in the townhouse. And then Luann was starting to date Tom D'Agostino, who she eventually got married to, and then they quickly divorced. So that was that season, which that was the best. That whole arc with Luann, I mean, that's the crazy part about this episode. The whole Tom D'Agostino arc of Luann that ends with her getting a DUI and then arrested on Christmas in Florida, this arc starts in this episode. Like, because this is where you start seeing the rumblings where she's dating Tom D'Agostino, and I just thought that was amazing. But so Luann is in Sonia's townhouse and basically saying like, we're friends. And Bethany is like so over it. She's triggered by it, and something's like off with Bethany. So it's just like, then it starts. We get Dorinda and Sonia sitting down. I think they were in Central Park, and Dorinda disinvites Sonia to the Berkshires for this Christmas party because she said it's not healthy for you. You've been drinking, that's real rich coming from Dorinda. I mean, slurring her words and cussing people out after having 3 martinis. Like, that's real rich coming from, and it's real rich coming on this whole fucking show because every single one of them, and during this season, they all are drinking and boozing all the time. They're drinking wine, martinis, tequila. I mean, there's some boozy people. And I mean, it's just real rich that Dorinda is like, your drinking concerns me, and I think it's better if you stay home. So Sonia can't go, and which means that because Sonia and Bethany are fighting, Dorinda's trying to save Sonia. But to me, what it read as was Bethany's going to Dorinda saying, I'm not filming with Sonia, so don't invite her, trying to get her off the show, which is something Bethany is very known to do behind the scenes, which I think's bullshit. Like, they all need to be up there. Like, Sonia should have been in this episode. She was in the episode, but she wasn't in the Berkshire's trip. So we'll get to what Sonia was doing later, because that also was like, I mean, that was a nice little like palate cleanser for this debauchery in the Berkshires, because it was nuts. So we get that. So they head up to the Berkshires, and it's about I think they said 2:10. This was towards the end of that first episode. So they start arriving, so they start arriving. So I believe Ramona's the first one, and she's her dog Coco in there, and Coco promptly comes in and shits on the carpet of Dorinda's Berkshire Bluestone Manor. And so it's just that, and I love like the clever editing, because they're talking because the dog's shitting and of course Ramona's not picking up the dog shit. Dorinda is, and Dorinda's like, this is gross. And then they cut to Luann and Jules walking in, and Luann goes, oh, smells like fall, with her like drag queen male voice, oh, the sweet sounds of fall, smells like heaven. Just like her drama. Oh God. It's like, that's what also I love about Real Housewives of New York City, because those producers, I mean, you really have to like, every single thing is like woven together in such a beautiful way. And it's like little moments like that just like, like they're just talking about dog shit, and then they just randomly cut to Luann talking about, oh, the smells of fall. And you look around and I'm like, it's fall. It's December in, Western Massachusetts. And I mean, I'm sure, and Dorinda loves the home goods. She loves all that shit. I'm sure she has some of those like gross, smelling pine cones, those cinnamon pine cones and those cinnamon straw things that they sell at like the front of a grocery store. I hate that shit. Every time I smell it, it's like so overpowering, and it's that fake cinnamon bullshit. But I'm sure she has a shit ton of that around her front porch, and I'm sure Luann's calling that out. So they all start arriving, and then Bethany walks in, and like they start sitting down, and Luann's try to make pleasantries, darling. So Luann comes in, and they all sit down, and then so then they start talking, and like Luann's trying to just they're filming together, and Luann also, the thing I love about Luann, she is completely oblivious to just how ridiculous she is. I mean, she really just like she's full of herself, and she doesn't take social cues, and she legitimately thinks that her and Bethany are friends this season. And she's just like, she's on that high horse. And then she starts, trampling on Bethany, and it's pissing Bethany off. And Bethany in her confessional is like, she's full of shit. She's just so full of shit, and I'm sick of it. So then they start talking, and then Bethany makes the comment that, well, you said that Skinny Girls was yours. And that's when you can, and then Luann says something back. This was when I think I went up and I had to like pee or something. So I missed this part. But this was like at the end of that first episode, and it starts with it cuts right off the tension where like Bethany and Luann, they start getting a Skinny Girl, and then it says to be continued, and then they show the preview, and it's just Dorinda just flipping out, which we will get to. So then we get to probably an episode that should have been nominated for an Emmy. December, Berkshire County. It starts off, and we get right dropped into it right when Bethany and Luann are getting into it about Skinny Girl, and there's a timestamp that says it's 3:40 p.m. I mean, Bethany, again, I think you're full of shit. Luann is not backing down. I mean, Bethany is a tough opponent. She's a tough, scrappy New York girl, and she is not backing down to Luann, and Luann is not backing down to Bethany. I mean, it's like a Mexican cockfight. I mean, it's like a cockfight. It is just like boom, boom, boom. And they just start, and you can tell they just keep lobbing insult. It's like a tennis match, back and forth. Luann is like, you came up here to rip everybody a new one, and you have the same hair as me. Copy her. And that's when, like, and that's the other thing, is because, like, the insults are, like, just so low and just so stupid, because it turns into this Skinny Girl, and then Luann starts, and then Luann goes, you stole my haircut, you had the same hair as me. And then Bethany, which is probably one of my favorite lines, she goes, what am I, single white drag queen? Which it's like, yeah, bitch, like, you cut your hair short, and instead of being like the black hair that we're used to Bethany in, it is more of like a honey medium, like brown, which is very similar to Luann, and it's short and got like a bob. This is the season where Bethany has a bob. So then Ramona, she starts getting into it. Her and Lou are going at it, and so then we get to Bethany. She's kind of like, so her and Luann, they really start getting it, and then she goes to remove herself. So then she goes across because they're in the dining room of Berkshire Manor. So they're sitting at the dining room table. Bethany gets up and sits next to Ramona. So at the table, it's Luann, Ramona, Bethany, and Bethany starts like saying really shitty stuff. Like, I'm going to take the reindeer and I'm going to hit her in the fucking head with it. And she's like trying to whisper it, but you can tell she's trying to do it loud. Like it's a fake whisper. And that's like such a bitchy thing to do. So that's why I'm like, Bethany, like, you really did a lot of this shit. Like, it's not cool that you did this. It's not like I'm Team Luann right now because you really are coming at Team Luann. And I mean, honestly, like, I am very much Team Luann for this whole fight. I mean, it really, yeah, Luann's full of herself, but Bethany should not have been like that to Luann because it's pretty fucked up. So that's when Luann starts like kind of giving it back to Bethany. So then Bethany gets up and then she says that, and then she comes back, and then that's when Bethany walks back over and makes the comment. You're like, you and Sonia are doing Grey Gardens in the townhouse. Side note on Grey Gardens, I fucking love Little Edie and Big Edie. That Grey Gardens is one of my favorite movies, and the fact that Bethany referenced that is such like the reason why I love New York City so much, like the Real Housewives of New York City, is because they literally are drag queens, and Grey Gardens is a drag reference, and like the fact that Bethany did that like is just amazing. So then at this point, Carol comes in and she sees all the stuff and she sees Luann's there. So Carol's pissed that Luann is there because Luann and Carol, backstory on that, because I mean, there's tension in this whole friend group. Carol does not want to be around Luann because Carol started dating that 30-year-old guy named Adam who used to date Luann's niece and used to cook for Luann. So Luann went and called her a pedophile for that. So Carol's like doesn't want anything to do with Luann. And goes up to Dorinda and is like, we went to London, we always have that, but I really don't want to be in the same house with Luann. So you can already tell, like, Dorinda, and that's the other thing about Dorinda, because in therapy, we have something called a process chain analysis where it's like, you don't just freak out like that. You have little things that keep piling up, and then it's like one little thing will break the camel's back, and out comes all this chaos. And that's what happened. So I kind of did one for Dorinda for why she had that iconic meltdown. All right, ad break. I gotta pay for all this damn coffee I'm drinking and tea I'm spilling. It's me, Zenobia Darling. So, as many of you know, I'm more than just a podcaster, stand-up comic, and drag queen. I'm also a very accomplished painter and photographer, and you can check it all out on ZenobiaDarlingCreative.com. I have an art blog on there sponsored by the Harford County Cultural Arts Board. And just all my paintings, photography, you get podcast stuff. I have an art film that premiered in September that you can buy on there too. So make sure you check it out. It supports me, supports the podcast. All right, so let's get back to the podcast. So already Dorinda is like already stressed out and hyper because she's doing a big, Christmas ta-da, that the house looks like Christmas threw up all over the fucking place, and she cooked and she did all this stuff. So Dorinda's already pretty stressed out. And then let's add to it that Dorinda's in her home environment. She's not going anywhere. So she's been drinking probably all day because God knows that out of everybody on that freaking cast, Dorinda knows how to drink, and she is a boozer. She loves drinking. She loves doing that shit. So I'm just thinking about the scene where I don't know why this just popped in my head. Her and John Medesian are cooking, and John picks up a hot plate or a hot cookie sheet and burns himself. Like, I just shit like that. Like, that's why I fucking love Dorinda, because she really brings this like heart and soul to it. And just like, there's so many Dorinda moments where I love it. I love Dorinda. So Dorinda's already like, so she's already, you could tell Carol like pissed her off because she's like, do you want a hotel? Like, what's going on? And so that's already like one thing. That's one thing in the basket that Sonia's holding. So she got those two things now that are two stressors that are happening. And so Dorinda's keeping it calm, but you can definitely tell where like if she keeps getting more of this stuff, she's gonna blow. And boy, did she ever. So then that's when Bethany starts really going in on Luann. And she starts out of nowhere, gets this this coke rage, alleged coke rage. And I don't know if it's cocaine. I don't know if it's just like too much Red Bull and coffee. I don't know if it's Adderall. I don't know what is going on with Bethany, but her rage in this is so next level because it's out of nowhere. And she goes from 0 to 60, red face. And I mean, she goes in and I mean, what did she say? She calls Luann. She goes, "You're a slut and a liar and a hypocrite and a snake." And then Luann comes back with her, "Oh, so I guess I'm the Kim Cattrall of the family." Which also, can we talk about the Kim Cattrall? Kim Cattrall is an actress. What she's thinking of is Samantha Jones from Sex and the City, which that's another thing about Luann, because there she is trying to make a pop culture reference and completely missing the boat. Yes, Kim Cattrall plays Samantha Jones, but she's referring specifically to Luann is specifically trying to refer herself as Samantha Jones, but it came out, "Oh, am I the Kim Cattrall of the family?" Which then that's when Bethany just just as crazy. And then it cuts to, and then right when Bethany goes into it, calling her the snake and the liar and the hypocrite, we get a timestamp that it's 4:20. So already we've had about a half hour pass so far, and we're getting it. And Dorinda, I don't know where Dorinda's at, but she's there. So then it goes to, so they get into that nasty fight, and then it goes a preview for what's to come because a commercial break. And we get Sonia, who's getting her vaginal rejuvenation this episode. So that comes back from break, and they cut to Dorinda. Dorinda's stressed the hell out. You can tell, it's really starting to get to her, and you can tell she's, fumbling for alcohol. That's something that, really accents this scene. So then after the big blow up and just the craziness, Ramona is pulls Luann to the side. I'm kind of going back and forth. Just watch the fucking episode and just laugh at it. So you can tell Dorinda's getting stressed. So then after that whole blow up, Luann, this is iconic. She goes outside to smoke. Jules is outside. She's on the phone smoking. Jules probably smokes a Parliament. I'm pretty sure that Luann smokes Virginia Slims, like I do. I mean, I'm not a smoker, but every once in a while I enjoy a good cigarette. And when I do, it's either a Marlboro Light or a Virginia Slim. Also American Spirits, but I don't smoke all the time. And you know what? I'm a 32-year-old adult. I'm a 24-year-old adult. I can make my own decisions. And Luann goes out there to smoke her Virginia Slim, and that can't be, and she's out there smoking a Virginia Slim that's super long, and that campiness is not lost on me. She's out there, and she sits down, and in her jeans, you see she's wearing a lacy thong. She got this whale tail, and production got a perfect shot through the door of her smoking. So the camera goes out, and Luann's just "Can you believe what she did to me, Jules?" Meanwhile, Jules is out there smoking because her dad is in the hospital with pneumonia and is it's pretty serious, and they don't know if he's going to make it or not. So we're dealing with a life or death situation where she's there filming. She's had her, Jules had her nanny quit. Her husband's a piece of shit who later got caught cheating. And I kind of wish they would bring Jules back because there was some crazy drama with Jules that is iconic that happened after the show. So I think she might be a good addition. But long story, I think, was her husband the one on Ashley Madison? I can't remember. But so she's out there, she's dealing with an actual life or death situation, and plus she has a bunch of shit happening, and Luann just is, "Can you believe what she said to me? I've never been treated like that." This is the part that I forgot to add in. So Luann, when she goes to leave, she says, she calls Bethany saying, "Sonia is more humble and gracious than you will ever be." To Bethany, and Bethany's single white drag queen. And then Luann, she was "Can you stop screaming?" Completely gaslights Bethany, and you can tell it got Bethany frazzled. Because at this point, Bethany was screaming before Luann went out to smoke. Bethany's screaming, and then Luann's just "Biatch, I'm gonna go outside to smoke, biatch." You called Bethany a biatch? Really? But Bethany was pretty, because she did lower her voice when she was "Are you gonna stop screaming at me now?" So Luann goes outside to smoke, whale tail, in tow. and she's smoking, and then that happens, and then Dorinda goes outside. So after Luann kind of tramples over Jules, so then Dorinda goes outside, and Luann freaks out on Dorinda, going, as you need to be a gracious host and tell her not to do that to me, and Dorinda's like. You could tell she's like, just come back in. And you can tell Dorinda's like getting frazzled. So we'll add that in the basket. So already you got like 3 or 4 things that have already pretty stressed out Dorinda. So she's starting like in a pressure cooker. The seal is made and the pressure is boiling inside. We cut to break, and then we cut to the scene where Sonia is actually getting her vaginal rejuvenation. Also, because they get paid per episode. So if Sonia was not on the episode, she wouldn't have got paid. So they put her in getting her vaginal rejuvenation in with some creepy doctor. I went up and got my water. But then it cuts back to Ramona and Luann in Dorinda's kitchen at Bluestone Manor. Somehow, Luann changed outfits. So now instead of being in the gray sweater with the statement necklace with like the green, the teal jewelry thing, she is in a fur vest. So this is her first outfit change of the night. She comes back down, and Dorinda's birthday is in December. So there's a cake there for Dorinda for her birthday. And Luann and Ramona just start bitching, and Luann starts going in on the everything. And then she starts going in on the birthday cake. Like she starts, oh, this isn't her birthday. Why is the cake here? And then Dorinda comes in, and that when Luann was talking about that cake, that is when just the dam burst and flooded out Dorinda's emotions. And I got a monologue here for a lovely holiday present. So for a gift from Santa or Krampus or Hanukkah Harry or whatever thing brings you gifts this holiday season, here is my monologue here is my rendition of Dorinda's monologue from December, Berkshire County. Okay. Stop it, Luann. Stop it. My mother brought me this weekend. Don't say that. Don't talk about my mother. And then in a confessional, Dorinda says, when it comes to my mother, you don't go there. So we cut back. Don't say it's my birthday. It's not my birthday. I think everyone is acting very poorly. I put in a big effort here, and this is my house, and I made a conscious choice not to invite Sonia. And when she says Sonia, that's when her aggression comes out, because she did like a hand punch. Like she did this thing with her hand where, and you watch the episode, it's like, you know what I'm talking about. She like slaps and punches her hands together to really accent Sonia. And so then she so we all can have a good time. And I think it's a disgrace for you people. You know what? You hold your things to yourself. I cooked all day. I decorated. I made it nice. I'm ashamed. If no one can behave themselves, then you all go home. I give you permission. You all go home. I decorated. I cooked. I made it nice. Nice. Go home, everybody. And then it cuts to Sonia getting her vaginal rejuvenation again, which I was like, And you can tell the best part of this monologue is halfway through it, she's trying to open an oversized bottle of Belvedere that Dorinda got at Costco, which I'm sitting there, like, she can't get it open. I'm like, why are you opening that huge ass bottle of Belvedere? Like, trying to get drunk. And then it cuts to her over with her like housekeeper trying to get like a cold bottle of Chardonnay. I looked, it was Ramona Singer Chardonnay too, out of like the cooler to drink. So she's like, so the whole episode is accented with the Belvedere bottle and then her getting Ramona Singer Chardonnay out of the cooler. And you can tell that this like kind of really rattles everybody, because then Carol comes in and is trying to calm her down. Luann's trying to, but also Luann's being, Luann. So then it cuts to, and then Ramona's also trying to calm them down, and then Bethany's kind of off in the side. And then it ends, and this is the best part of why I watch New York City. I have never seen this dialogue before. Like, I didn't catch this the first time because Dorinda's monologue is so just like boom, 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 boom. I mean, seriously, you break it down, there's a rise and a fall, and I never really picked up on this. So then after Dorinda pours herself what looks like a Sheena Shea pour of wine. Remember, because Sheena Shea, they would always cut to this on Vanderpump Rules, of Sheena, like, pouring half the bottle of, like, a 1.5 liter bottle of wine in a glass up to, like, the very top. Dorinda gets one of those glasses and pours it that much. So it's probably, like, her fifth bottle, or her first, it probably might have been her fifth bottle, her, like, fifth glass of wine for the day. And Luann comes up and still not catching it. So then it ends with Luann in the fur vest going up to Dorinda with her glass of wine as she's leaving. Jules also has a glass of wine too, so they're leaving. So Luann goes, "Let's play charades. Dorinda, please don't go crazy on me. I got called a slut in your fucking dining room." And Dorinda's like, "I didn't know that." And you can tell she's still, and she like charges off. God, just like, let's take a minute just to sit and like take that in. I mean, just the buildup and the pressure in that pressure cooker just went off, and that little rubber stopper snapped, and out came all the steam, and like I made it nice. Go home. You all go home. Oh my God. It's so, and then just that little accent of Luann. "I got called a slut in your fucking dining room." Like, you can't, like, that's like, this is high theater. Like, this shit needs to be studied in theaters. I mean, when I get my MFA, I plan on doing that. So, but like, this shit needs to be studied in theater, especially Real Housewives of New York City. Like, that is great theater. That's great theatrics. It's so amazing. I mean, you can see the buildup. You got Carol bitching about Luann there. You got, just Luann being Luann. You got Bethany and Luann fighting. You got Luann going after Dorinda. You got Dorinda just freaked out because it's Christmas and the holidays, and it's her Bloomstone Manor in Massachusetts, and it's just like a shit show that way. And she's already heightened, and all her stress is up there, and she just boom. And I mean, but the thing is, though, is that's realistic. I mean, I just had Thanksgiving, a few weeks ago, and I mean, I didn't go to it because this is the shit that happened in my family. I mean, someone in my family, like, I don't talk to, and I just was invited, and I have a firm boundary with this person, and she was going, so I decided not to go. And then the other side of my family, this happened. The high expectations, it didn't live up to the expectations, so you feel the defeat and the anger, and you take it out, and that's what happened to me. And it's a very real thing around the holidays, and we are seeing it play out on Real Housewives of New York City, and I'm so happy that they got this on camera. So then they start opening presents, and you can tell, like, Bethany's she's taking it in, and she's just like, I don't know, it looks to me like she took a Xanax. And so she's uncomfortable, so she's being silent. So they open up games, and of course it's some light pleasantries, as Luann would say. And then this whole thing ends with Coco, Ramona's dog, shitting everywhere. So just like, it's just nuts. Was it? So we get a timestamp of 5:20. Oh no, that's the next episode. So then it ends with just like them sitting down. Luann did another outfit change. So now she's in a sequin top, a sequin lace black top out of the vest. So this is her second outfit change of the night. And then her and Bethany start going at it again. I mean, yeah. And it cuts to be continued to the next episode. So then it cuts back. Then it says it's 5:20 p.m. And Bethany and Luann are going back into it again. I mean, they're fighting again. And then we get flashbacks to like the early season. So this was back with like Countess Luann when she was married to the Count, and she was like holier than now and like, full of herself. And Bethany really didn't have money. So there definitely was that dynamic, and you get to see a lot of that stuff play out. And then you get like, Luann trying to like make nice with everybody. So she's texting Carol, "I'm sorry I called you a pedophile." And then she's texting, which then ends up with Luann trying to go in the room where Carol is and just, "Oh, smells like Christmas." Oh, and then she starts playing pool. So I don't know why Luann's so obsessed with like the smell of the house. So, and then Carol's just like over it. She's shopping. So then they kind of have it. And then Luann texts Bethany saying, I'm sorry that we had a miscommunication. And then we get Dorinda saying, I need a nap. And so Dorinda leaves to say she's going to take a nap to watch Law and Order or Ghost Hunters. And which, side note on Dorinda and Ghost Hunters, Dorinda is one of my favorite housewives because she is so big into the paranormal. She loves ghosts. She loves the spirit world. She loves all that stuff. She's obsessed with it. She loves Ghost Hunters. She watches Ghost Adventures. She is my people, and that is why I love her so much. That is why Dorinda is one of my top housewives, because I can talk ghosts to her in the paranormal, and she loves that shit, and she believes in that shit. And, like, I love it, and that comes out this episode, and I just fucking love it. So then, this is the third episode. It cuts to Sonia back at her townhouse with her gay. And her gay is like painted nails, which I mean, I have my nails painted too. And like they're doing stuff. Sonia is in a leather scarf wrapped around her neck. And she's acting like Eddie Monsoon from Ab Fab. She's like saying they're regal, like trying to be like Patsy, but she ends up looking like Eddie. It's just like, that's funny. And they're just having some campy stuff. So then it cuts back to the Berkshires. And now we get a timestamp that it's 7:20 p.m. So we have had literally probably, I don't even know, like this has been since 3. So we're like 4 hours into this evening. We're already on our third episode dealing with this evening in the Berkshires. I mean, that's how ridiculous this stuff is. And that's the mark of a good reality show. I mean, it's more real time. It's not so much like cut together over a week. I mean, this is like a real time episode of shit that happened over the course of 4 hours. So then we get the timestamp for 7:20 and it cuts back to Luann bitching to Dorinda about Bethany. Bethany comes out and hears it. So then Bethany goes, oh, is this part of your apology monologue? Do you want to add it into it? So then they start going at it again. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Bethany, like, give it a break. Like, my mom always says you're like a broken record or a dog with a bone. Gotta bury it and pick it up. Bury it, pick it up. So she's doing that shit. Melvin just knocked a fucking picture off the wall. I swear to God. So then I'll wrap this up with this. So then the whole saga ends of this evening with them all crying. And it actually got pretty dark. Luann starts crying and she's like, I'm there as her best friend to protect her because she's out of control and I'm afraid that she's going to go home with the wrong guy. And then Ramona goes, yeah, you're going to find she's dead the next day. And then Bethany's like, yeah, I know. So it ends with them all kumbayaing over just how much of a fucking train wreck Sonia is and that she's going out getting wasted, bringing guys over to the townhouse. They think she's gonna fuck like a guy who's gonna kill her. So then it ends with Dorinda's sister coming in as Santa. So then it ends with the juxtaposition of them talking about Sonia's possible murder to the Dorinda sister coming in as Santa, and Dorinda's like, hey, ho, 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 being all happy. And then we get a timestamp for 8:56 that says they're going to sleep. So that was the episode. December Berkshire County it's an iconic episode. It's there. I watch these 3 episodes every Christmas and they never fail to deliver. This one's good. There's also one in the 10th season where they go to Christmas at the Berkshires, and it's the one right before Luann was like, she was peak alcoholic and she was wasted, and they all wake up hungover and she's like, water. So you get that. It's just like, it's good. So with that, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope you take time to relax and enjoy the season. Enjoy your family, whether that's biological or chosen. And I hope you're not around anyone who, causes you mental anguish. Yeah, so with that, guys, remember, follow me on everything. I'm beaming back up. I hope you enjoy this little espresso shot. Peace out.